Aaron Tuttle here for Ferguson Roof Systems. For 43 years, Ferguson Roof Systems has been protecting Oklahoma's homes and businesses with quality roofing services. Their goal was to be the most honest and dependable roofing company in the state, all while providing free services such as lifetime labor warranty and annual inspections. Well, mission accomplished with thousands of client testimonials, an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, and a 5-star rating on Google. Look, the weather gives you enough to worry about, so why worry about who to trust with your roof? Call Ferguson Roof Systems today or find out more at fergusonroofsystems.com.
Hey, good evening. It is 9/21, a Saturday night. Hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. If you didn't see my post earlier and you're late, Merry Christmas to you. I hope it was a great time with your friends and family. And just a chance to get away from it all, right? And get a little R&R. Tell you what, Teresa already dropping me some stars this evening. I see that. I appreciate you. So did Logan and John. They both stepping up. Apparently Facebook's doing some kind of Christmas promotion on stars. It's down there at the bottom. If you'd like to shoot me a few, I'd appreciate it. It's right next to where you're sending your comment. So we've been doing the stars game here for a while, so I appreciate Facebook turning it on for me and for you guys participating. It's pretty cool. Dinah's in the house with 200 stars. She's there. I mean, she's on a 5-week streak. That's crazy. That's awesome. Angela in the house as well. Good to see you, Angela. Yeah, so I think my Merry Christmas was very merry. Jody was here, came in from Canada. And just for you folks to know, we've been long distance dating, so for like the last 3 years. We got engaged earlier this year, and then we filed our official K-1 visa application. So fingers crossed that, COVID and all doesn't slow things down too much. And then she can be here permanently. Yay! So fingers crossed and all that. Lots going to happen here in 2021. Both good and bad, looks like. But hopefully we'll have some good on our end to share with you. But thanks for joining me tonight. We're going to talk about the fact we've got another storm system coming our way. It's a winter storm developing over the central and southern plain states. Kind of at the last minute for Oklahoma. So we'll see who's got the best shot at seeing some snow or ice with this one. But you guys are coming all out tonight with the stars. I'm loving it. So I saw Angela there, and I got Kim, Lauren, Shannon, Margarita, Crystal, Angela, Dana, Cody, Rachel, Mimi. Man, you guys are all over it. Amber, thank you so much. So let's get on with the maps, and we're going to show you what is coming our way. All right, Kim, I see you. Appreciate you. All right, so here's a look at the upper levels of the atmosphere. It's the jet stream pattern. We're going to watch this energy. So in other words, your focus will be on the west coast. We're going to watch all the brighter colors means the more lift in the atmosphere. So we're going to watch something form out here and come eastward into the central plains here over the next couple of days. So as we put this into motion for you, we're going to keep on going, and look what happens as we get into Tuesday morning. And then here's Tuesday evening. And then here we go into Wednesday lunchtime into, looks like a Wednesday afternoon. So we've got an area of low pressure starting to develop across the Texas Panhandle. That's good for us, for Oklahoma, right? So we want a good area of low pressure here aloft to give us a chance for some snow. There's also plenty of energy wrapping in and around this system. It's a two-parter, though. So we've got one band kind of went up here to the north and sheared out, but the southern track is what's going to start to be the more dominant feature. So this will cause some precipitation to break out ahead of it, all the way up here to the Great Lakes and into southeastern Canada. So let's see what happens. We put this into motion a couple more times, and we head into Thursday morning. It's really starting to deepen, and here's Thursday lunchtime, and the low is now here across North Texas on the Red River. Now that's actually a lot better for Oklahoma for a chance of some winter precipitation, because you got to have enough cold air on the northern side of the low that feeds in, and then you get that moisture that wraps in up around on top of it. So you get this kind of a zone right here where you kind of get cold enough to finally get some of that snow. Now the question is, will we be seeing it? So at least this setup is starting to take shape, but this is based off the brand new experimental keyword there, experimental American model. This is what we're supposed to be our best offering, right? This is where we step up to the table and we go to the competition of the world models and we say, this is our gem. And we go fingers crossed, hoping that it does pretty good. So we're going to see how it does. It's going to be a leader of the pack. as far as changes go, because this has been a new trend. The other trends have been kind of lame, at least last couple of days here, last few runs. So this will be something that'll be worth watching. Another little system kind of tries to come in here. Looks like Friday night and a Saturday morning. Sometimes this can squeeze out a little bit of light snow. So we'll see. That might be a little surprise light dusting for some people because the cold air will be in place by Saturday morning. But first, let's just get through what's going to happen here for our midweek. So here's again a look at that upper level low pressure system across Thursday afternoon here over North Texas. So that'll be the storm system shaping up. Now, it's going to try to cut to the north and east. In other words, once it gets in this low position, it's going to zip up like this. So that's going to take the track of the snow with it that does develop, which means on the wraparound backside of that, northeast Oklahoma could be the winter chicken dinner. So here's a look at the 700 millibar lift. All the red, and you see on the map, an orange indicates lift in the atmosphere, precipitation. And this is for Tuesday morning. So you're thinking, okay, what's so special about Tuesday morning? Well, that would produce cloud cover and precipitation. And what you have to watch for is temperatures. And these temperatures Tuesday morning are into the low 30s here in blue. So that your freezing line runs from around Bartlesville to Stillwater down toward Elk City. Gets pretty close to Oklahoma City Metro. Right now the models keep us at 34 degrees, but below freezing in this area. Now, why is that important? Well, with lift in the atmosphere and light precipitation developing, as you can see by the model data, that indicates that some is going to be frozen. So in other words, anything you see here in pink, this is going to be light freezing rain across the northwestern third of Oklahoma. What that means is slick spots on bridges and overpasses and some roadways. So if you're traveling late Monday night into Tuesday morning, you're going to have a little light coating of ice to deal with. Right now, the models keep it out of the greater Oklahoma City metro area. So it looks like, we're going to be dodging a bullet very closely unless the models are wrong, and we'll know as they get a better handle on some of the cold air that lingers. But right now, it looks like the trend has been to shove the freezing line a little bit more to the north and west with each passing run. So that's going to keep Oklahoma City in the clear as far as any additional ice accumulations for Tuesday morning. Now, if you do a sounding in northwest Oklahoma, this little dashed blue line right here in the atmosphere is the 0 degrees Celsius. This is the profile. Anything red and green is temperature and moisture. And as long as they're all west of this line, left of the line here on your picture, that means it's all snow. But as you can see right here, this little warm nose comes east of the line, which means this is like plus 6-7 degrees here, around 850 millibars. So we call our warm nose layer. This is a lot of times is what will screw us when it comes to snow, and we end up getting either rain or freezing rain. If you get this little nose, that's bad news for Oklahoma. It happens a lot, which is why our weather's so crazy sometimes in the winter. So that's why you're going to have some light freezing rain with this event in northwest Oklahoma. And you can see temperatures, shows right here, about 32 degrees at the surface, a dew point of 29. So that's going to be, like I said, mostly a bridges and overpass deal Monday night and Tuesday morning for the northwest third of the state. All right, how much precipitation-wise? Not a whole lot. Didn't take much, again, to cause some slippery spots, but it's about 1/10 of an inch or less here in these northern counties and back out here to the west. And that continues on to Kansas. So if you guys are watching me in Kansas, this storm system looks like it'll be more of an effect for you in some aspects with the freezing rain Tuesday morning, and that stretches on up to the north and east from there into Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. So there'll be a little bit more ice development out of Kansas and back up to northern Missouri. All right, so that's a look at the ice. And again, timing on that will start by Monday night here in northwest Oklahoma. And then it will expand southward a little bit toward the late night hours. So we're going to cut it off, like I said, probably something like this. All right, so this little band here of some light freezing rain, freezing drizzle, will be in this area here in blue. Okay, so that takes care of that threat. Now let's move on to the snow. So on Wednesday will be a transition day. We're going to have some rainfall, but on the back side of that system, we should see a little bit of snow develop and swing through. Now right now it does not look a lot. Matter of fact, this may not be much of anything that sticks or even a dusting. Depending on how things go in the upper levels, we may have to wait till Thursday kind of for that action to take shape, but we'll see what happens. Now, there will be more freezing rain with this event as that upper level low develops east of Oklahoma, moves off to the north and east. So that means there will be a lot more freezing rain for you folks out here in Missouri. That's up to 1/2 inch. That would be a not so pretty ice storm, just so you know. Next stretches north into Iowa. So it's going to be a travel troublemaker up there toward the Great Lakes. Now, when you look at the snowfall amounts, this is the American model we talked about earlier. This is its latest run here, and the trend has been to bring the snow line a little bit back to the south and southwest as far as 1 to 2 inches, and then it ramps up quickly. It's got Tulsa at almost 6 inches of snow, Bartlesville 6 inches, northeast Oklahoma, southwest Missouri 6+ inches, and some really big snow totals up here. Now, earlier, let's see, was it last Tuesday, I think it was? It had all of this right here. Now, it wasn't this model, it was the European model, but what it has been doing, just to show you, is that what we had, the area of interest, for our weather, has gradually shifted to the north and east as the upper level pattern has changed. So that's shifting most of the heavier stuff north and east of here. So a really big winter storm is developing, and it's just a little too late for most of Oklahoma, but the GFS is right. Northeast Oklahoma may be the winner of this event with some significant snowfall. This is just an early trend, so this will be something I'll be watching over the next couple of days, and we'll try to narrow it down for it a bit better than that. All right, here's a look at the ensemble run. We look at all the different models. We plug in the European and all these other kind of models, and we see what they got. So let's look at the ice for Oklahoma City, and it's measuring barely even measurable. In other words, only a couple of runs at all. But if you go up here to, say, northern Oklahoma, let me click on some of these buttons, north of Woodward, it's got about 1/10 of an inch, and it's got a lot of colors on the map, which means a lot of models think there's going to be a very light icing event. Here's western Oklahoma and west of Woodward, a couple of tenths as well showing up in a lot of the model data. So that's, again, where you have your trouble spots for northwest Oklahoma. And that goes through, this all really occurs, like I said, Monday night and Tuesday morning. If we go to total snow, just for giggles, it does have about 1 inch to 2 inches. Looks like, I'll say 2 inches here in northwest Oklahoma, just out west of Woodward. These are the snowfall totals. Let's see, far northwest Oklahoma, around near the Kansas border, really. It's got about, what is that, about 1 inch of snow on these lines here. I'm going to go over here to Tulsa. Let's do Tulsa. Oh, that's pathetic. 1/4 of an inch of snow. Does that go out far enough in time? Oh, it doesn't. It only cuts it off till Wednesday. All right, so that's why there's not expecting anything out here on Wednesday, because Tulsa, your day would be the Thursday. So northwest Oklahoma would be the Wednesday, and that's why there's at least 1 inch or so showing up in the ensemble model data. Now, if we look at Oklahoma City, and we look at the European model, which usually does pretty good for snow, what does it have? It's got an average of about 2 inches of snow here in town, and these are all of its members. All right, so each one of these, all these little numbers right here represent a run. There's 50 of them. Well, some of the model runs are bone dry. There's no snow at all. So the European is not that confident we're going to get a lot of snow here, much less any snow. It's about 50-50. It's a coin flip right now. Remember the last storm system, I told you it was a done deal, it was easy, piece of cake? This one's not one of those. This one's a tough one. Now, if we look at how it looks on a map when that model blends all that together, it's got about 2 inches of snow here in central Oklahoma, a little dusting out here south and west, believe it or not, even into North Texas, and about 2 to 3 inches from Tulsa and northeastern. This is compared to that American model, it's very conservative, but the take home here is how eerie they look in the placement of this little region, this little backdoor area here. That's what you want to focus on, this little backdoor area. So if I were to go back to, let's see, was it this map? Yeah. If I go back to this map, see there's your backdoor area here, which kind of jives pretty good with the European model. So there you go. All right, so we'll see how that continues to evolve. Now, the European model, like I said, it's a 50-50 coin flip. Here is the probability of at least getting 1 inch of snow. It's not that excited about it. It's got about a 40% chance here in Tulsa, about 50% up in Miami, and then in central Oklahoma, about 30%. So it's not really sold yet on the good snowfall here over the state. But it's early in the game. Things can change. Now, the American model we talked about earlier, it's got some of its ensemble runs, just like the European. And for Oklahoma City, it's got a few in here that goes to about 1 inch. There's a couple a little bit over than that, but it's saying about 1 inch of snow is definitely doable in the overall scheme of things. Now, if I go to Tulsa, and this is the long term, so this takes us into that Thursday, Friday morning time frame, it's got about 2 inches in some of these runs, so it's getting a little bit more. Once you get into Springfield, though, these numbers start to climb up more. There's a lot more of these ensemble outliers that get up around 5 inches or so. Even southeastern Kansas has got a little bit of snow. So we're seeing a developing trend. We'll see if it takes shape. Now, if you want to look at what that looks like flat, kind of how things look like if you were just take a more top-down view rather than like a plot. These are some of the ensemble maps as well. Let's see, for example, these are all different control runs. I'll show you the American model. So what you can see there, the blue, is snowfall output. So you watch the placement. My only point to show you this is how radically wild placement can be at this early in the game when the models are all over the place and they really don't all agree with each other. So for example, there's a plot there of some snow. Here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one, this one. This is one, this is one, this is one, this is one, this is one. All right, so there's a few of these that say great for Oklahoma and a lot of them that don't. If you look at the Canadian model, same kind of idea. There's one, there's a good one, that's okay, it's okay, that's okay, that's all right. So there's a really good one. Whoa, that's ridiculous. There's it's up into Kansas, and there's some here that are pretty heavy for snow, all the way up into near the Great Lakes area. But you can see several of them are also dry for Oklahoma. If we go to the European model, same kind of idea. It's got some wild swings. Watch the placement, how it just changes all over the place. So when you're talking about forecasting for snow and you have a pattern that's very chaotic and it's not one that all the models agree on, matter of fact, they all disagree, it's very difficult to find out which way you want to go. So in this term, you know it's going to snow, you know some of the general stuff, but when it comes to getting real specific, that becomes better as you get closer to the event, obviously. And that's usually within about 48 hours out, and then it gets better each 12-hour period from there. Now, the Canadian model, it has its ensemble runs too, just like these others. Only point of me showing you this is that some will show some snow in Oklahoma and some don't. The blue and the yellow is either a rain-snow mix, and then the blue is the snow. So here's a panel that does have a little bit of both. This one, not really, just a tiny bit. This one has just a tiny bit. This one has some. This one has some. Let's see, let's go over to the right. Let's see, you can't see this as well as I can. Let me shrink that down for you. Some of these, let's see, there's some, no, yes, 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 no, 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 yes, yes. So even the Canadian model is kind of a 50-50 as far as a mixture of either rain or just snow. Now, temperature-wise, over the next several days, let's see here, Monday, we've got about 33 degrees. It's a bit chilly day on Monday thanks to a cold front. Tuesday, a little bit of a rebound in the morning. Remember, we're going to be, it says here in the Oklahoma City metro area, we're to stay, we're actually going to climb. In other words, temperatures will start out much colder at midnight, and then they'll climb during the morning hours and the late morning hours. So any light chances of freezing drizzle, light freezing rain, which is primarily north and west of Oklahoma City, are falling into temperatures that are right around freezing, but then those temperatures quickly moderate. So your travel window of trouble will be very short-lived on Tuesday morning. All right, so we're going to rebound pretty good for the afternoon. We're going to have some rainfall move through, of course, on Wednesday. Some heavy rain at that. Cold day. Some of that wraparound snow in northwest Oklahoma, about an inch, maybe two for some of you folks up there. And then on Thursday, really cold start to the day, 24 degrees, and we may not hit 42. And on Friday, we also may not hit 45. Kind of depends on how that system evolves. And this is the questionable part of the forecast period of how things evolve in the upper levels of the atmosphere. All right, and then after that, though, we start to warm things up a little bit. So it's a moderating trend in the mid-50s, low 50s, and overnight lows into the 20s, and eventually the 30s as we head into our first full week of January. That's Oklahoma City. Tulsa is very similar. So here's your shot for Tulsa. It's actually got a little colder here for Thursday and Friday, and temperatures do moderate a bit as we head into the 4th, 5th, and 6th. So very similar to Oklahoma City, and this will be similar across the state as well. Finally, you want a really long-range outlook, and we're talking way off in the distance. So here's a look at the trend. This is going to be for Oklahoma City. We'll take you in. This is the first full week all up to January 11th. So overnight lows here in green will be getting back into the 30s for the most part. So several mornings here at or below freezing, a couple above, and then daytime highs rebounding and staying into the 50s primarily, maybe sneaking into some upper 40s. So pretty seasonable, cool or chilly, but seasonable up here as we head into the first week of January. So that is how things ought to look in the long term. And of course, any abrupt changes in the atmosphere can bring all this to a crashing halt if you get a strong cold front that just zips on through, and then all of a sudden these temperatures just fall for a couple of days behind it. A little true blue northern, and that does happen. All right, so that is a look. A lot going on here over the next week or so. Okay, so I know you guys are just going nuts here in the comments. I can see them out of the corner of my eye, so I'm going to scroll down here on the old phone and see what we got here. By the way, a few more shout-outs for you guys dropping stars tonight. Where I left off, Amber's in the house. Kim did so as well. Jordan, Aubrey, I see you. Shauna, I see you. Angela did it again. Daisy did it again. She's on a 5-week streak. So thank you, Daisy. So appreciate you guys sending me some stars tonight. Danielle's in the house with some stars. Angela sent me some hello hands. She's loving the snow idea. Daniel sent me, whoa, in the house with 745 stars. It's a Stars Holiday Celebration +1. That's what it says on your deal, which is pretty cool. So that's part of the deal that Facebook's doing. Daisy's got that too. She just dropped another. Brandon's in the house, 945 stars. Thank you, Brandon. You are awesome, my friend. And then we've got Tracy and Sarah also checking in tonight, sending me some stars. Very appreciative of those. I do thank you guys for that. So let me jump into a couple of your questions on your Friday night, I'm sure, or Friday night, your Saturday night. That was yesterday, dude. My guys here in YouTube, I see you. Jim always checking in from Mustang. He's here with his son from Owasso. Owasso might get a little snow, Jim. Probably more than we will this time around. We'll see. Good to see you, Dashing Tiger Lily. You're Ray, huh? Good to meet you, Ray. All right, hey, Nat, I see you over there. I'm going to load up the Twitter Periscope deal, which, by the way, this is part of what I have to do behind the scenes that you guys don't know about. I have to keep tabs on everything related to social media. And what that means is any changes that would affect, content creators like myself. Tracy's in the house with 150 stars. Sarah's in the house with some 150 stars. I see you, Dennis. Thank you. You can guys leave your comments on Twitter, Periscope here real quick if you have something to ask me. But Twitter is getting rid of Periscope. They're dumping it, and they're absorbing it probably as its own standalone broadcast. So if you follow me on Twitter, it should give you live notifications. I go live. You can watch it on Twitter. But in reality, they're pulling in a third-party feed of Periscope, which they bought a long time ago. Whole thing's convoluted, so that's probably why they're just going to drop it and just call it Twitter, be done with it. So you probably won't notice anything on your end, but on my end, it's just going to be a little bit different on the interface. Chris is in the house. Dennis is in the house. Patricia, I see you. She wants to know if Garvin County, she's ready to get some snow down there. Some of you haven't had enough snow. Believe it or not, those last couple of snowstorms that we had, you're like, I need some more. I actually kind of like those because A, they count, they really add up, and B, they don't stick around long, they melt. And to me, that's a win-win. I mean, kids love it. It's not that cold. We melt it pretty quick. It's just good water during a normal drier part of our year. So on my Patreon page, if you guys notice, I got the feed going back up again. For whatever reason, I don't know what was going on with Facebook, but I guess they fixed it. Karen, I see you. Hey. Denise is in the house. Beverly, Terry. Let me go to the main page. So Kevin noticed I broadcast 4 different things all at once, so that's a lot of interaction. Let's see what else we got. Look at some of your comments now on the main Facebook page. I can only read up to I think like the last 40, or not even 40. It looks like about 20. So if you had a question earlier when I was doing the broadcast, ask it again. Oh boy, there's some. He doesn't like y'all. Could have been some drama going on. Wouldn't be surprised me. Can you? Oh, somebody's got to be blocked. Oh no. She's gonna complain. That is funny though. Those of you folks that do complain, but yet you come back anyway, wanting more. But it's not unlike anything else. You complain about president, for example, but yet you listen to everything he says or does. Your boss. You may not like your boss, but you still listen to everything he says or does. So, hey, when it comes to weather, you may not even like me, but yet you're back here listening to everything I say and do. It's all good. Let's see. How much winter precipitation will Lawton, Oklahoma get? Yeah, Nate, doesn't look good for Lawton this time around. Right now, it doesn't look like you can get much out of this at all. So I usually only block people, Andrea, if they kind of violate the golden rule and they drop a bunch of obscenities or just filthy, hateful stuff. Then I'll block them because I don't want that kind of nonsense on my thread. It's a positive. Come on, this is a weather page. Good grief. So, I like it positive here. If you want that drama, go to Twitter. You'll find it all over the place, and you can froth at the mouth all you want and get your heart really dark. But here I like it bright. So let's see. Jamie wants it to snow really hard on the 3rd. I've got your order. I'm like Santa. I'll see what I can do. Let's see. Thanks for the heads up. You're welcome, Ron. Yeah, earlier you guys had a couple of you were trying to make plans several days ago based off of the early model data for next week, and I was like, that's way too early to be getting that specific, especially when it comes to winter storms. So anyway, so there you go. So I know a lot of you are continuing on some weird conversation, which I didn't see the part of, so I have no idea what's going on. But anyway, so actually, Nate, you just said that the GDPS is the latest Canadian model, and when I went live tonight, it wasn't in yet, and I was actually wanting to see that to see how it looked with the American model. So I'm going to go look at that here real quick, and we'll see if it jives. So I like to see some model and agreement between what we got to work with. So let me see here. Dun, 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 dun. It only goes out to 84 hours on this one, and that's for Wednesday morning. It's got the low way down here. This one's still stronger up north. That piece might be a little too separated, but we'll see. Snowfall. It's got not much there. Wednesday morning is starting to show a little bit of light snow here in western and parts of central Oklahoma. And for the freezing rain accumulation, we'll get a little closer. It's a little far away. So, the freezing rain, same kind of idea, mostly northwest Oklahoma, Kansas, so very similar to the other model we showed earlier. Now what's interesting is that little batch here. What time is that? It's probably for Wednesday. Let's see. There's Tuesday. Yeah, Wednesday morning. So Wednesday morning it's got, looks like a little bit of freezing rain here for Oklahoma. Let's take a look at the sounding profile. It's almost just cold enough for all snow. So it doesn't have freezing rain, it has sleet as a result of that. So this is the profile right here, and it's right on the blue line. Now anytime you get that little warm nose, which basically just stays on the blue line but just kind of fluctuates along it, the models will never have enough high resolution to tell you for sure which side it's going to be on. They just know it's going to be kind of hovering. So when you do that and you see that, you go for sleet in the forecast. So especially the ground temperature of 30 degrees. So that'll be a sleet on Wednesday morning, and then we'll see if it should over to a little bit of snow as more cold air comes in. So this will go left of the blue line here, the freezing line, and we'll get some snow mixed in from that. But it may not be a whole lot. We'll have to wait and see. But that's the Canadian model, and we'll see how the other models do when it comes to us getting a little closer. Let's see. So that's what we got here so far. All right. Okay. One more quick round robin look, and then I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Let's see. YouTube. Twitter. Patrons. Super late to the party. Oh my goodness, Jessica. Snow or no snow? Answer is yes. I'm going to pull a Jody on you. Jody likes to ask me like 3 questions at once, and so you just give her one answer. She doesn't know which question he goes with, but you gave an answer. So for you, it just depends. Here's your real quick summary. A little bit of snow for northwestern Oklahoma on Wednesday in the morning hours into the early afternoon. Some of that will probably blend and move into central Oklahoma. Right now, doesn't look like anything significant as far as snow accumulations here in Oklahoma City, for example. Probably some trace or dusting, but a couple inches up in northwest Oklahoma, up near the border, probably likely. A little bit of freezing rain and drizzle Monday night, Tuesday morning, same kind of area, northwest Oklahoma. Here in the Oklahoma City Metro, we say just a degree or two above freezing. So north and west of town, watch out bridges and overpasses for a few hours until Tuesday morning warms up. And then the system kind of comes out in its second final wave on Thursday and a Friday morning. Wraparound snow for potential for northeast Oklahoma. Kind of a backdoor snow event on the back end of the upper low. So kind of I-35, I-40. It would be your bounding points. So that means the northeastern quadrant of the state would get snow with that. It could be several inches. But we'll see. Other models will have to come in line with that thinking. This is a little early. It's just a new trend that's starting to develop, so we'll see how that goes. I see a Philip with 54 stars. Thank you, sir. You got all kinds of badges going on in your deal. So that was the other recap. So that was basically the big news so far. So I'll be watching this for you and doing some updates off and on here for the next few days as we get closer to it. So I want to thank you guys for watching tonight and for your questions and comments and all that kind of jazz. And we'll do this again soon. And thanks again for all the stars. Appreciate that as well. All right, good night, everybody. Talk again soon. Bye-bye.